Jim, welcome. Joseph, welcome. Appreciate you guys being here. Tina, is it Trina or Tina? Trina, welcome to the broadcast. And this is going to be an open forum. We feel as though our community as real estate investors will be affected by what's happening with COVID-19. Various big groups have stopped doing their meetings. I mean, they've had Think Realty Expo. That was supposed to be next week, canceled. We've canceled our mastermind meeting over the weekend. Of course, we will be actually going back with that as well shortly. But there's a lot of things that are really on hold or short hiatus in the real estate community, but that doesn't mean you have to be. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't be, because you have to look at this as a business. And what I mean by that, this is an opportunity for you to hone in your craft, get your marketing lined up, get your scripts lined up, get everything in your business set up and ready to go. I know we have I think it was Tina who had a question they want to ask. Go ahead, Tina, go ahead. Well, maybe not. And if you guys have any questions, just don't forget just to time in. There's an actual feature that allows you to raise your hand and you can ask a question at that point in time. But you're definitely going to want to participate in this conversation. Going back to what I was saying, there will be a change in the atmosphere. There will be a change in people's mindset. You will be getting, I don't want to use the word cursed out, but you will be getting a lot of angry people, even more if you're going to be the person or reaching out to that person first as opposed to that person reaching you. That's going to happen. You're going to be called all kinds of names. So keep that in mind. It's not something that's going to happen all the time. It's not something that is very prevalent all the time, but it's something that is going to happen on a more frequent basis than what it normally does, because people are pent up with a lot of anxiety and there's a lot of issues and there's a lot of people out there that have problems that they need to get involved with. Yes, Trina, you have something you want to say? You can communicate, guys, through this forum by way of phone. You can also communicate by way of your computer microphone. Sean, thank you for being on the broadcast. You are unmuted. Joseph, thank you for being on the broadcast. You are unmuted as well. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Look forward to to each and every one of your engagement.
Charles, just one other question. I know that probably in about 15 minutes, I'm going to have to get off, but I don't want to miss anything. Will the recording be available on the YouTube channel or in the group?
As a matter of fact, I am recording it as we speak. So yes, it is recording, and I will put it in the mastermind group. I will also put it on YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So I advise you got any other questions, you better ask them now before you get off. Have you guys started using text message marketing as part of your marketing strategy?
Yes.
Anthony?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you and I got to get together to go over more intricacy in your marketing plan.
Right, I'm not gonna do that through Caldwell.
Exactly, there's other services that you can use for that. I got a couple that we use as well.
Okay.
Now, Charles, I've never used the ringless voicemail. I know you said that text is you get a higher response rate, and that's been pretty good with people responding back to me. But tell me about ringless voicemail. I understand what it is, but out of all, like, text, email, ringless voicemail, between email and ringless voicemail, which do you think is best?
Well, if you ask me 1, 2, 3 between text, ringless voicemail, and email, I would definitely say number one would be text, number two would be RVM, ringless voicemail, and number three would be email.
Okay. I figured that because there's a lot of email filtering now that I would think that, would make email a little less, a little less effective. And also people tend to just delete them before they even open them. I know I do.
Yeah, that's the case with a lot of, especially professionals who have an expansive email box in their system. So, but one of the key things that we do with everybody that we work with, we definitely get email. I'll give you a secret to something that we're doing that I don't know very few people are doing right now. One of the things that we do with every person who we talk to, and this is every person who we talk to, we send them a credibility kit. Now, we always get an email. We always get a phone number. We always get an address. As far as these questions are things that we're going to ask for throughout the whole process. And every person who we speak to, we send out our credibility kit that tells people about our company. Because you got to understand, when you're cold calling, you're just a person on that phone. The people who are speaking with you are individuals that you're going to want to say, okay, man, something's going on. I don't really want to deal with this situation. I think that these people could be scammers. They could be someone who could try to steal my property, and they're also just calling me out of the blue. So how do we make that person feel at ease? It's simple. We basically send them a credibility kit during that conversation. We'll drop it in their email address, send them a credibility kit, let them know, and/or send them a text message where they can download the credibility kit by way of a link from Google Drive. So that's how we're dealing with the whole cold calling. I don't know if you're for real or not. And we found that people will save the credibility kit more than the thought of that conversation in their mind, or more than a postcard, or more than an actual letter. I can't tell you how many deals we've gotten from individuals who have seen our credibility kit and saved them, because it's about 5 or 6 documents. It could be a way of saving an email, or they may have printed it out, whatever. But they saved the credibility kit, and now they're ready to do business. They'll pull it up and give us a call.
So what's in the credibility kit?
I'll do better than that. I'll actually show you the credibility kit. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up on my screen. I'm on a conference call, baby. Let me call you back. Okay, let's see. Chucky buys folder. Credibility kit is right there. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let me know when you're able to see it. Just raise your hand, all that good stuff. Just let me know you're able to see it. And
See it?
okay, it's about to open up right now. I'm opening up the Word document version. And sometimes, actually, I should have opened up the PDF version, because the Word version Word on my computer can take a little bit of time to open. So let's see if the PDF version would open up faster. Yep, PDF version open up first. And this is what it looks like. Let me know if you guys can see it.
We can't see it. It's just the folder. I think you may have to go to another screen in Zoom.
Well, I'm going to open it up in a minute. Let's see. Let's go to Zoom. Yeah, according to Zoom, it's telling me that it's on the screen.
I can't see it.
Anthony, you can't see it either?
No.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to stop and then I'm going to do the tag, do it one more time so I can get you guys to see it. Okay, I just hit it again and let's see if you will be able to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, now I see it.
Okay, this is what it looks like. It's a PDF. It has about 13 pages and it breaks down my company, my family, who we are about, different ways in which we could help them to sell their property. Process can take about 7 to 30 days or faster. The advantages of working with us as opposed to working with somebody else. It gives them a timeline of how we operate. The pros and cons of working with an investor as opposed to working with an agent. It even has some of the actual testimonials from individuals that have done business with us as well. And then last but not least, it breaks down before and after shots of properties that's been rehabbed. So this is exactly what they're getting. And then at the end, it has a little salutation that tells them to give us a call and all that good stuff. So this is big when it comes to building rapport, building credit in the environment of sending out a text message, sending out an email, sending out a voicemail, and that person has yet to see you or anything. You have to let that person or bring that person's defenses down. And the only way you're going to do that is to let them understand that they are working with a real company, a real corporation, and so on. So that's what I'm referring to when I say you have to make it so that everything is a product of what's working in your business. Pastor Al, welcome to the broadcast. So that's what I'm referring to. And Latanya, if you like, as a matter of fact, if you guys want a copy of my credibility kit, just leave a comment in the actual comment section. And I'll, with your email address, and I'll send you a copy of my credibility kit. I'm going to open it up. You guys, do you have any questions? I think some of you guys are going to have to mute yourselves because I think you're causing the actual feedback we're hearing. So if you don't have a question, you can mute yourself. Okay. You can also leave your questions in the comment section as well, or should I say in the chat box. I will respond to them as well so that we can get rid of some of the feedback and stuff. Dominic, welcome to the broadcast. I appreciate it. Sean, thank you. Joseph, Jim, Tony, Trina, Pastor Al, thank you. Phenomenal. Thank you for being on the broadcast. Joseph Harris and Jay, thank you for being on the broadcast. The question is, what do I say in my text messages when I speak to people in the text message? One of our basic text message, Trina, that we give is a message that says, hey, I'm interested in buying your property at, and then we basically put the address in, and then we'll send the text message along with our company information. So that's what it is. It's a basic text message. Here's a little secret hint. You do not want that text message to be more than 160 characters because long text messages cause people to get higher charges if their next text messages ain't free. Not to mention, you want to give them a snippet, a little bite of that information that you want to give them, not a full paragraph of 100 words and all that, 200 words and so on. So 160 characters, that's it, just like they talked about in Twitter, and give them a short, quick message, straight to the point. Like I mentioned earlier, when you text message, you're not going to close a person. All you're doing is introducing yourself to that person, and then you're going to drive them to either allow you to call them or have them call you. Always take the affirmative. And then what I mean by that, always push it so that you can call them and get the actual conversation on the go. Great question, Trina. Thank you. Another thing that we're doing that is working really well right now, along with the text message blasting and the cold calling. Latanya says it's very hard to hear. Is anybody else having issues with me hearing?
I think people need to mute themselves. Anytime you move or do anything, you can hear.
Yeah, that's a good point, Anthony. If you don't have anything if you don't have anything to say, mute yourself and then raise your hand, and then I will unmute you, or you could put a message text in the actual message box, and then you'll be good to go.
Good morning. I hear you loud and clear. I'm muted.
Okay, and who is that I'm speaking with?
This is Emmett Driggers. Good morning.
How you doing, Mrs. Regas? Okay, everybody's saying you can hear me fine. Like I was about to say, another strong strategy that we're doing to generate leads, code enforcement violation. We are doing a boatload of stuff from code enforcement violation. There are several city websites that you can go to for code enforcement violation. In Baltimore City, we have two of them actually, Baltimore City and Baltimore County websites that you can go for code enforcement violations. And we're getting a lot of good leads, especially wholesale deals from code enforcement violations. What we're going with those leads are we're looking at vacant properties. So in other words, we're doing code enforcement violations that's about no more than 4 to 8 months old that are active and that have not closed. And we're actually breaking down the skip tracing of those properties through a system that we use for skip tracing. And then we're doing our 3-touch sequence once we reach that person. So definitely highly recommend, if you're looking for a cost-effective marketing strategy that actually works, code enforcement violations is a great one. The key to it, though, is going to be kind of manual. You can get some violations from certain tools, and I'm going to include in here right now our prop stream. Let's see, man. PropertyDeals.com. I just added in the actual chat box our code for prop stream. You can get 7 days, and if you want to, you can also get an extra 7 days. Just tell me you're part of the Real Deal Meetup and that you want to get an extra 7 days of prop stream. But that's what we use. You can use that for some lien choices, but we love going to the courthouses by way of websites and pulling the actual leads from code enforcement violation, pulling the actual leads from tax foreclosure, pulling the actual leads from divorce and so on. So there's great opportunities when you're doing these motivated seller leads. Just go to the site, Matt. I think Latanya says, don't see the link for PropStream. It's underneath of my code, madpropertydeals.com. Just go to madpropertydeals.com, Latanya. You'll be good to go using my affiliate code. What do you say in the RVM or when you leave a live voicemail? That's a great question, Latanya. We're pretty much saying almost the same thing that we're saying in our text message. Once again, you don't want to leave a long, drawn-out message. You want to leave something short, sweet, and straight to the point. And generally what we're saying is, hey, if you're interested in selling your property, this is Charles Blair with Chucky Buy Lucky Houses. Please give me a call. My telephone number is yada, 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 yada. Bam. And then we'll also have a second part to that message if we really want to qualify them. Please call me if you're willing to be flexible on price and or terms. So those are the two messages that we'll say if we're trying to generate leads through RVM. That's the pre-recorded message. Once again, you don't want to be long and drawn out. People are not going to spend 10 minutes to listen to a message, 5 minutes to listen to a message. I would argue you probably want to leave a message that's going to be at least 45 seconds or less when you leave a voice message. One of the key factors to you doing your business in this type of mindset, in this type of environment. And when I say the environment, I'm talking about the COVID-19, the world is coming to the end of environment. And what I mean by that is this, you gotta be very cognizant to people's emotions. That's the key. If you are, you're gonna do fine. You're going to get more people right now that's gonna be extremely rude to you. It will happen. I mean, there's a normal amount of rudeness that comes with our business anyway when you're cold calling or when you're reaching out to people who have not reached out to you. That's a normal amount of rudeness that we usually get. But in this environment, it's going to be a little more. So you got to be thick-skinned. You got to understand what people are going through, what their mindset is. Do not, for whatever you do not stop doing your business. This is an opportunity to move forward. It's not an opportunity to stop. I think it was Warren Buffett who said, whenever people say sell, we buy. When people score on buy, we sell. So think that in mind. This is not an opportunity to sit on the sidelines and hold your hands and twiddle your fingers and maybe something's going to happen soon. I've been through 3 recessions, 3 different bubbles in the real estate community. And each one of them, we've been able to ride it, not only ride it, but prosper from it. And you're talking about somebody who's been in the business for over 30 years now. So this too will pass, but you just got to be smart about what you're doing and how you're doing it. You got to be cognizant of people's emotions. You got to be out there understanding that this community right now is fearful. There's a lot of fear out there, but keep that in mind. You'll do just fine. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the Zoom group chat box. Latoya, do you have a question? I think I saw your hand raised.
No, you had asked us to raise our hand and acknowledge something. I forgot what it was.
No problem. I know you got to go, Latoya. No problem at all. I will continue. Okay, sounds like it's a great time to get a podio set up. Trina, it's always a great time to get a podio set up. Always. From the beginning to the end. And the reason why I say that, because I can't tell you how powerful it is to have a CRM that is able to grow and change with your business. It's truly something that will change the way you're doing business. So if you haven't gone to my YouTube channel yet, I'm going to put my YouTube channel link in the actual chat box, which is Charles Blair. And I tell you right now, it is going to be a situation where everybody will be able to see how we're doing YouTube and how we're running our business by way of YouTube. Let's continue. One of the things that have changed in our business a little bit is the way in which we've trained our VAs. For the most part, we've used our standard operating procedure SOP book to train our VAs. We're doing right now. I have a project manager that does nothing but work with the VAs so that we're hiring, we bring in the company. But now we have 3 different levels of VAs, and I'm calling each one of these a different level. What I mean by that, we have a VA that's a virtual assistant that's overseas. We have somebody that's local that we usually call them house hunters or interns. And we have somebody in other cities and other states that we call our joint venture properties or joint venture partners. So we have 3 different levels of virtual assistants. And each one of those levels are handled by our main project manager. And that's how we basically manage, set up, and train our individuals that work for us in our company. Keep this in mind as the investor in your business. There's going to be lots of opportunities out there. And those opportunities are going to be situations where you have to decide, how am I going to handle calls that come in? How am I going to handle calls that I need to make going out? How am I going to deal with the day-to-day business when I'm working a 9 to 5? Well, I'm working a 9 to 5. I only have X amount of hours left. So how can I handle my business this way? There's going to be lots of ways in which we can work this business. The key here is treating it like a business. You have to understand that it is a business that needs to be treated as such. If you don't, you will get swallowed up. I can't tell you how many people I've seen who've jumped into this industry have come to my meetup meetings, and all of a sudden, a month down the road, 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road, they're no longer in the business. And the reason behind it is they got caught in the hype. Let me be the first one to tell you, doing real estate and being a real estate investor literally can change your life. It really can, but it's not easy. There's nothing easy about being an investor. I like to call it being a transaction engineer. But there's nothing easy about this business. Take that mindset when you come into it, and you'll stay on top of what needs to be done in this business. If you have any questions, you have the Zoom group chat feature. Put your questions in the Zoom group chat. I will get to each and every question as well. If you raise your hand, I will unmute you, and you can even ask the question by way of just me unmuting you. But right now, everyone is muted in the system, and I will unmute you as you see fit. If you want a copy of my credibility kit, earlier I showed you guys how we are reaching and actually closing more deals by way of my credibility kit. Just put your email address in the chat box, and I will make sure I get your email address and send you a copy of my credibility kit. Now, there's a lot of hype going on, and there's a lot of misinformation that goes on in our industry. Everything is shutting down. Big events, Think Realty Expo, movie theaters, concert events, NBA, Major League Baseball. Doesn't mean you have to shut down. It's going to be easy if you spend your day watching cable news, to start feeling depressed, I urge you, get out of it. Shut that TV down. There are more opportunities out here now than ever. You will see some changes. For example, they are already talking about no longer allowing landlords to evict. I believe that sooner or later, if there is some longevity to what's happening with what's going on with COVID-19, I believe sooner or later there will be a moratorium on foreclosures, filing for foreclosures. I believe that may come up. I'm not saying it's happening now, but I believe that may happen. So as that investor who needs to foreclose or that investor who needs to evict, adapt with what's going on in the marketplace. Understand what's happening. Don't let it, and I know it's hard to say this, don't let it corrupt your spirit. Don't let it change you from being you, because that's all you have. Continue to do what you have to do to be successful in this business. You too will ride this out. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been in the business now for 30 years. I've seen at least 3 to 4 different real estate bubbles, recessions, and so on and so on and so on. Sure, a lot of people have left the business during those times because they couldn't keep up with what's happening now. So here's what I want to call my COVID-19 proof message. Make sure you equip yourself with more than one type of opportunity. Here's the key. Know that people will try you. Know that that seller on that other line is going through hell of anxiety. Maybe they've lost their job. Maybe they're going through depression right now. Maybe it's a situation where their mortgage may be late, or just you can't imagine, or maybe some of us can, because some of us may be going through it ourselves. What is happening to the community that we normally market to and try to help? Continue to try to help. Be that person that is there to help that seller, not that person that's there to take advantage of them. Our motto that I live by is we don't just buy houses, we build communities. And to me, I have a problem with each and every one of you taking that and calling that your tagline of your business. We don't just buy houses, we build communities. Keep that in mind. Everything will be okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not. Is there trouble ahead? Oh yeah, there is. Is there a situation where you have to tighten your belt and make sure your business is on all 4 keels? Oh yes, you will. But there will be situations where it will, and we will all continue down the path, bounce back, and move forward. We will. There's going to be changes. There's going to be plenty of changes. But we will adapt. You will adapt. Keep that in mind. Here is my email address. Don't forget to ask any and all questions. If you have them, I will be happy to answer them. Here is the link. Trina wants to know, do you or anyone target marketing beside code enforcement violations that we should be focusing on? Absolutely. On average, Tina, we are doing, or should I say Trina, I'm sorry. We are doing somewhere between 6 to 10 marketing strategies per month. So one of the things I highly recommend is you to implement multiple. And that's one of my, that's a strategy, right? That's a buster right there. Implement multiple marketing strategies. I had a discussion yesterday with someone who said that all they were doing was MLS, looking for leads on the MLS. And they couldn't find that many deals because there's so much competition. And the reason behind that was simple. Think about this analogy. There's a huge lake right in front of my house. And there's only one fish in that lake. Every day I go out and I cast that rod. And every day I come back empty. What do you think I should do? Simple. I should move to another lake where there's more fish. The same thing with marketing. If you only concentrate on one marketing strategy, you're fishing in the lake with one fish. You should be doing multiple marketing strategies. Not just any though, because it's a product of two things in regards to what you should be doing. There's motivated and there's non-motivated, or what I like to call the fish net approach. So what is the motivated? The motivated seller is a seller that needs to sell. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They need to sell. They have a code enforcement violation and it's being foreclosed on. They need to sell. They have a tax lien and it's being, or should I say they have a tax lien and now it's being foreclosed on. They're 30, 60, 90 days or late on their mortgage. They have a medical situation. They need to generate income. And now they need to sell that second property. That investor needs to sell that property. New investor just put a tenant in the property 8 months ago. And now they got to file eviction. And now they're late on their mortgage because they over leveraged themselves. And now they're 2 to 3 months behind on their mortgage. You're looking for motivated sellers. And here's the funny part. Even though the motivation is there, only 15% of those sellers that are highly motivated is going to sell to you on the first touch. That's the funny part. They're highly motivated. They have serious issues. But less than 15% is going to sell it to you when they first are introduced to you. Which means 85% of your deals are generated during the follow-up, not the first touch. So, motivated lists, pre-foreclosure, tax lien going into foreclosure, vacant property, equity in the property, going through foreclosure. All these different types of lists could be probate to a certain extent. People that are upside down on their mortgage, who have lots of credit, who are going through a emergency situation. All of these are opportunities for you to help that person. And that's the key. It's all about helping the seller through their troubles, their issues, their problems. If you take that approach, as opposed to wanting to buy the house, if you take that approach as the conduit to help that person going through that situation, you will close more deals. I don't think I'm telling you guys anything new. What I'm saying is, put helping first, closing second, and surprisingly enough, you will close more deals. I try to look for solutions that sometimes don't even involve working with me. And because of that, or working with Chucky Buy Lucky Houses, and because of that, there's a sense of sincerity to help that can't be overlooked by the seller. Do not, and I'm going to go on a little tangent, do not put your business in a scarcity mindset. I'm going to say it again. Do not put your business in a scarcity mindset. I don't know how many of you guys have known me over the years, and you could ask me any question. I would give you the answer to that question about anything regarding real estate. You will never hear me say, "Oh, I can't tell you that. I don't want you to be my competition. No, I can't tell you that, man. Then you'll know what I'm doing." Pay it forward. Am I saying that you should give everybody everything you're doing? Not really. I'm not saying that. But I love helping people. I love working with people. I look at every opportunity to share information is that opportunity for that person who I'm giving the information to share something with me. And that's the same way you work with your sellers. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're dealing with a seller is they sell as opposed to show. And what I mean by that, I can tell a seller that the property around the corner is selling for $160,000. The house 2 blocks over is selling for $158,000. The house 4 blocks over is selling for $170,000. Here I'm proving why the seller should sell it to me at the number that they should sell it to me at. I'm telling them this. But very few people are showing the seller this. Show the seller the comps. Show the seller the pictures of what you need your property to look like when negotiating. Ms. Jackson, the reason why I can't pay this dollar amount that you want for your property is because I have to put it into this condition. As you can see, I know you said your property doesn't need any repairs, but in order for me to make a profit, this is what I have to do. This is what it has to look like. You see what I'm saying? That's huge. Now you are bringing that seller into the mix of trust. And people love doing business with people who they like, know, and trust. Charisse, thank you for being on the broadcast. Too Tough, thank you for being on this broadcast. Pastor Al, Sean, Trina, Kip, Dominique, Tony, Jay, Anthony, if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them into the Zoom group chat box. I love to get your questions. You have any issues that you're going through that you need help with, put it in the Zoom chat box. I will unmute you and then we can discuss it. Or if you want, I won't unmute you. I'll keep it private so nobody have to know who it's coming from. But however you choose to do it, I'm here to give you guys the help you need today when you need it. Often I'm asked, well, how many hours should I be doing my real estate business? And the easiest answer I'm going to give you is as many hours as you can. But I know for a fact, out of all the hundreds of people that I've had the opportunity to work with and to help over the years, I got a firm belief that you should be giving this business at least 20 hours a week, at a minimum, at least 20 hours a week when you're just starting out, at a minimum. And I believe that because this should not be a hobby. This business should not be worked like it's a hobby. Give it at least 20 hours a week and treat it like a business. I'm going to work this hour, that hour, and so on, doing this business at that time. And when you have your hours to do your real estate business, nothing else should come between those hours. I mean, nothing. It should be geared straight towards that business and nothing else. How many of you in the chat box, I want to know how many of you are giving your real estate business at least 20 hours a week or more? And just put in the chat box, I am, that's all. Okay. Kip, he's given at least 20 hours. Kip, I noticed that word usually. Does that mean that you're busy? Sometimes you can't give it 20, or does that mean that your system is set up so that, hey, I don't need to give it 20 hours. It works on itself. Yeah, that's true, man. Kip says that life gets in the way sometimes, and it's hard sometimes. I understand completely. It's easy for me to tell you to do this since I've been full-time now for 30 years. It's easy for me to tell you to do that, and I know it's hard. But look at everything that you're doing on a daily and try to fit it in, because if you do, it will pay off. Consistency is one of the trademarks to success. And that's the same thing with your business. Give it consistent business hours. Give it specific business tasks. Weekly, monthly tasks. You will grow. Trina says she's not, but she plans on doing it. Sean says, short-term rentals still an option to fill your properties? Is short-term rental still an option to fill your properties? Absolutely. I think it is. I think there will be more restrictions coming down the pipe. I think that based on the temperature of short-term rentals, I think that it was already going to come. And I think that large short-term rental environments may suffer in the short run. So what do I mean by large short-term rental? I'm talking about the hostile type of short-term rental where you have 15 people, 20 people in a 3-bedroom house. I think that those type of short-term rentals may suffer sooner and quicker based on what's happening in the environment right now, based on legislation curves that is going up towards legislating that industry, and based on communities. And here's the key part of it: communities not wanting that in their community, that there will be an effect on short-term rentals, especially the large communal style. But no, I don't think it's something that is going to happen on average right away, because there are certain hedges you could put into place. For example, a lot of the short-term legislation has been about time frame in which you can do it, how many people you can have, how long you can do it, and what type of code your property must have in order to be able to do it, commercial and so on, business and so on. So those things have to take into legislation, as well as is their property in a good enough area for it. So I think that there will be ramifications in the short-term community growth sooner than later for the larger ones, but that's something that's been happening anyway. Another good thing that is going to happen, and I don't want to use the word good, but trouble seems to weed out the looky-loos. And here's what I mean by that. Everything that happens in our industry, is usually fueled by some guru talking about how easy it is to make $1 million next week flipping houses. And I mean, that's the truth. A lot of people did not get into this business until a guru told them that they could make $1 million pushing a button. They didn't have to work hard. It's true. So what's happening right now with COVID-19, it will weed out those tire kickers. I mean, meetings, meetups, and so on for the next few months may all be virtual. I think there's a possibility that a lot of groups will be having virtual meetups based on the bands of 50 people or less, 250 people or less, and so on. So I think that based on that the growth of the new investor getting into the business, it's going to slow a little bit. I think it will, which means there's going to be more opportunity for you. Those of you who believe, who know, who understand the power of real estate, of how it could change your life, your family life. There will be more opportunity for you. You gotta ride the wave. I know there's times when a single phone call don't happen. I get calls, people tell me, emails. Not a single phone call in a week. More often than not, it's not because of what you are doing, it's because of how you're doing it and the time you're applying to do it. I got over 400 videos on my YouTube channel. Over 400, and I'll put the link in here to the channel, on every aspect of this business. So there isn't a situation right now where real estate is not working. What's going on right now is people being afraid to work it. People are seriously scared to work it right now. I had a person call, actually posted in one of my mastermind groups this morning. Let me pull it up because I want to make sure I quote the message correctly. The message was, give me 1 second. The message was, can we still cold call on leads? Or is there a law against doing this based on the state of emergency? Yes, that was an actual question. And there's opportunities. There's fear. There's all kinds of crap that's happening right now that you should be worried about. That's it. Take into cognizance, take into effect that there are issues out there that's going on. You should be aware of them, but you should go full steam ahead. That's the key. Go full steam ahead, my friends. As I mentioned earlier, this too will pass. We are fighters. We are hustlers. We will make this work. And if there's anything, any amount of information I can give you to help you, don't you hesitate to reach out to me. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's something my mother always told me. Closed mouths don't get fed. We have so many people in our community, the DMV, that is there for you guys. Yeah, some of us can be scared. Some of us can have a scarcity mindset. I agree. But there's more that is willing to share than not. There's a lot more out there that's willing to share than not. Valerie Scott, Nicole Amundsen, Antoine Campbell, Michael Green. I can go on, and Al Davis, Zach Weiss. There's so many people out here that is willing to help you with free content. Not just me. Although I do want you to check my YouTube channel out. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me at Meetup. Come to my Meetup meetings. All that good stuff. But I'm not the only one out there. There's lots of opportunity to learn. But here's the problem. Here's the problem that I see. There's lots of opportunity to learn. But it only takes one opportunity to take action. And that's the problem. Not enough of us are taking action. Not enough of us, and here's I'm gonna have to say it. Not enough of us are believing in ourselves. Hit those questions up. How do you believe in yourself when you haven't done a damn thing in this business and you're trying to convince that seller that they should do business by selling one of the highest commodities they can have to you? How do you believe in yourself when you're brand new and you just went to 2 or 3 meetings. I'm going to tell you how you believe in yourself. Believe in the process. Believe in the result. Believe in the outcome. You know it works. You know real estate works. You know it builds communities. You know there's success. You're helping people. You know it works. Believe in the process until you have the knowledge to believe in you. Beat your chest. It's not faking it till you make it. Believe in the process. And if you do that, if you honestly believe in the process, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to be the result of that. It will accelerate your growth. There's 2 forms of belief in the process. One is physical and one is mental. Now, we all have reached the physical aspect of that. What do I mean by that? The physical point of believing in the process revolves around when you get that first paycheck, when you get that, you close that first deal, you made that first dollar. That's the physical belief in the process. The mental belief is when you don't have physical, but you have everything else inside of you telling you that you know this works. You have success stories from other investors. You have people who walk across the street who you know, people who brought you into their mix, into their company, who you know are successful. And you just know down deep inside that this business works. That, my friend, is the person you want to be. Because when you work it like that, it's not a job. It's a belief, a faith that this will change my life and bring me opportunity for my life, my generation, and my family's life and their generation. It's that simple. Now I need some more questions. Enough of me gabbing and blabbing. In the comment section, hit me up with some questions. I want to hear what's on your mind. Are there issues? Are there problems? Are there solutions? Tell me about your success. Pastor Al, what you're up to. I want to know what's going on. Malik, what's going on. Antoine, what's going on. Sean, Kip, Trina, Dominique, Joseph, DJ, Michael. I want to know what's going on in the comment section. Let me hear it. How are you doing today? What do you need help with right now? Malik says he's doing great. He's just trying to find his motivation again. I know it can be hard. It can be extremely hard, especially someone like yourself, Malik, who have had success and now going through a dry spell. Consistency is the key. That will always be the key to moving forward. But you can't be consistent if the plan doesn't end the result of success. Aman Singh, welcome to the broadcast, my friend. You guys got me for another 40 minutes. I made sure I cleared my schedule completely for 2 hours just so that I could help and assist each and every one of you. And if you need any assistance, please type your questions in the comment section or raise your hand and I will bring you live if you wish to be brought live. It's all up to you. I aim to please. Let's go a little bit in to
Charles.
you. Yes.
Good morning. How are you?
All right. Who am I speaking?
This Malik.
What's up, Lee?
Not much. I guess, and the reason why I made that statement because, some months have passed and some things have happened and I finally just got past that part. But like I said, it's more so just like I've gotten a list. And I need to just narrow it down again to, I guess, the three or four things that not necessarily that I should, I guess not, I'm not going to say not should be doing, but the three main things I need because, at this time it's cold calling, it's text messaging, it's RVM, it's, you know what I mean? So that's the thing, just to begin to drive the leads in again, then you got direct mail, which most of my my successes have come from direct mail versus, the cold calling.
Right.
So I guess that's where I'm at right now with it, which I probably know the answer is just mainly focus on direct mail, but should I still also incorporate, the RVM and the text message? Cold calling has not yield me anything. And I haven't tried the text messaging yet, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm going to tell you that that's an extremely good question. And I love direct mail. We haven't stopped it. Now we've curtailed it, but we haven't stopped it. So definitely, as long as direct mail is in your budget, because direct mail can be expensive.
Right.
But direct mail can also yield some great results. And we've gotten some great results with direct mail. So yes, you should definitely continue direct mail. And the way I think that your business is best suited, when you were doing cold calling, how was you doing it? VA or yourself?
I was doing it myself, honestly, but I was calling between for 2.5 hours, probably from 2 to 4 or 2 to 5.
Well, I would tell you, first of all, that's the best optimum time is 4 to 8. That's going to be your best optimum time. We're doing cold calling, but we're only doing it now from 4 to 8 and on weekends.
4 to 8
Monday,
and weekends?
That's correct. Monday through Friday, 4 to 8 on weekends. Now, when we do a cold call, we do a 3-touch. So like you're talking about direct mail. So we would do, for example, a direct mail, a cold call, and a text. Or a direct mail, a cold call, a ringless voice message, and a text. But a text has to be one of those things because we're getting 60% response rates on text. Now, what do I mean by a 60% response rate? I mean the person answering our text.
Right.
It doesn't mean we're buying the house.
Right.
But the key is the answer because that leads up to the phone call.
Gotcha.
So on that 60%, it's 11% conversion that leads to a phone call. So that's what you got to look at. So that's where I'm going with it. I think that depending on your budget, it makes sense to do it. Why? Because text messaging will cost you anywhere from 3 cents to 5 cents per message.
So you're using what, Slide Broadcast for that? For texting?
No. We got the system that we're using right now is Text Magic.
Text Magic.
But we're also looking at another system, and I'm not going to tell you about it yet until we get some back data on it. But it's another system that we're looking at because of a couple of issues we had with TextMagic.
Okay.
And I'll let you know in the next 45 days how that other system goes. But you know, I believe in only talking about stuff that we're doing.
Right.
So I'll let you know how that other system goes. But there are a couple other systems out there that other people that are doing volume is talking about. And if you want, I can send you that information as well. One of
Sure.
them is, hold on a second. Let me pull it up. I'm on my actual computer right now. One of the systems that we got a lot of people telling us about is something called Follow Up Boss.
Follow Up Boss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I haven't used that one yet, but there's one more that we've gotten a lot of people say. Let me pull that up. The other one is the Smarter Contact.
Smarter Contact.
Yep,
Oh.
the Smarter Contact.
Smarter.
And that one was recommended by a good friend of mine named D. He mentioned that he's using it. He informed me that the first, I think it was about the first 4 or 6 months he got it, he had 4 deals that directly came from the text message to a phone call that he made with the person, and he closed the deal.
So what CRM can you have, I guess, it all in once where it does?
That's a good question, my good friend.
You know what I mean?
Well, to me, I don't know if that CRM exists other than Podio, and Podio does integrate with the Smarter Contact.
Okay.
So in my opinion, there's no CRM out there better than Podio.
Gotcha.
None. The only thing now is, how does it integrate with that system? Right now, we're doing postcards through Podio.
Postcards through Podio.
Mm-hmm. You can run postcards through Podio by click to mail and letters, and you can also run it through Podio by lob. We're also doing click to call by way of Podio as well. So in other words, we're initiating the conversation straight from Podio to any lead we want to communicate with.
Wow. Okay.
So all these features are available out there right now. It's just a matter of finding the developer to put them to implement them. But those are the 2 main ones: click to call through Podio, and actually sending out letters through Podio by way of click to mail and by way of lob, letters and postcards.
Have you ever heard of Sales Pipe?
I've heard of Sales Pipe. I haven't had any experience or haven't reviewed it yet, and haven't had a lot of investors tell me about it yet. But yes, I have heard of it.
Okay.
So going back to what you were saying, it's a volume game.
Right.
Always has been and always will be a volume game first. Second, consistency. So you put it in order: volume, consistency. You know how I always say action plus offers equal profit?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Volume plus consistency equals ROI. That's your key. So you're already doing what And give me a sense of your numbers. How many a month you're doing?
Like I said, I was just cold calling, so I haven't really gotten back to which I was trying to call. I think I was setting a meter for. My list was probably about 40. I want to say like 4,000, but I was calling probably about 35 people a day. That's
Okay.
that was my goal. I need to, contact 35 people a day
Now,
before
when you say contact, Malik, are you saying you need to call 35 people a day, or you need to reach and actually speak to 35 people a day?
yeah, actually speak to 35 people a day.
But that doesn't mean, so what was your volume wise, call wise? How many were you calling a day?
I'll have to go back and look. I'd say it was over probably about like 200 something people.
Okay, that's not bad. 200 something people are not bad.
Two-
And a 4 hour period, is it a 4 hour or 2 hour period?
2.5 hours. I would do 2.5 hours a day.
Okay, that's not bad at all. Not at all. My question to you though is was that the only thing you're doing? Was it just cold calling? Were you
Yeah,
also,
I just been cold calling. I haven't been doing any.
that's the issue. I want you to do 3 touches. I want you to do 3 touches. It should be a cold call, a voice message, drop, an email, and or a text blast. Text blast should be one of those touches. There's no doubt about it. A text blast should be one of those touches. Now, could you take out the cold call? Yes, you could. If you want to substitute the cold call with a letter or postcard and then a RVM, so those could be your 3 touches. RVM, text blast, letter. Now, if you're talking about cost, you're going to eliminate the letter. Your 3 touches is going to be cold call, text blast, RVM.
Understood.
So it's a product of your budget, because we can only do what our budget, what our money will allow us to do. Another approach I definitely would have you do, Malik, is if you're going to spend the money on the actual letters, make sure that's a highly motivated lead you're spending that letter money on. For example, somebody that is in desperate need, somebody is in foreclosure, somebody that's going through a probate that has a situation where they want to sell right away. Not somebody is just absent. That's not motivation. Absent with equity is not motivation. So if I had a limited budget, would I spend my money on absentee owner with equity in their property by way of a letter? Nah, not when my budget is limited. That's going to be a text. That's going to be a cold call. That's going to be an RVM. That's going to be an email. And it's got to be 3 of those things, not just 1. And that's on the first touch. So that should be within 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah, because I was I've been getting a partial list for the probates, but I was thinking maybe I might have to go ahead and pay for a full list. As you know, it's expensive, the company I was using.
Right.
That's why but they only give me like, if it's only 179 leads for my county, I'm only getting half of that, which is roughly about 80 leads. You know what I mean?
And that's per month?
Yeah, right now per month. Just haven't turned anything yet.
That's a good volume. The question is,
I've been doing more of the ring this voicemail to them and then seeing who responds and then going from there.
Yeah, like I said, we're getting around 55 to 60% response rate on text message.
Gotcha.
I'll go as far as saying this to everybody on this call right here. If you go to my YouTube channel and the first one you come to, if you subscribe to my channel and you leave a comment on the first video you get to, I will send you over my scripts that we use for cold calling. So I'll hit you up on that comment section on that YouTube video, and I'll send you up my whole script. And that's a yes/no backup script we use that we'll go over with anybody when we're doing text message blasting. It's our follow-up script that we use. And the good part about the system we're using right now is we automatically have canned follow-up message. If the person says yes or the person says this message will go out, and so on and so out and so on. Because, but I'm going to be totally truthful with you. You're not going to buy any houses by way of texting. All you're going to do is initiate a conversation. So that's what I mean by not buying a house.
Right.
Initiate the conversation may result in you buying the house, yes. But no one is going to send you all their information by text, and you're going to buy it by text.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen.
I think that was my only question then. And I'm working on some business credit, so I might be able to have a little influx of marketing dollars.
That's good. Ain't nothing wrong with, I mean, I'm a firm believer there's more money you put into marketing, the better it's going to be. I'm a firm believer in that. But it's not all about the dollar, as you already know. It's also about what you do and how you spend the dollar. Because
Right.
I can easily show you strategies that you could do to actually generate deals if your budget is just $50 a month. So it's not all about the dollar. It's all about how you spend the dollar. And I know you know how to spend it because like I said, I know of the success you've had.
Right.
You know what you're doing. You know how to negotiate. Great questions, man. Jay, I think you had a question out there if you're still there, because I think Jay may have left.
No, I'm here. Hello.
Okay. Hey, Jay, what's up, buddy?
Yeah. So yeah, the question I have is, what's your recommendation in terms of hiring a VA? Meaning that because I have a dilemma where, I want to hire multiple VAs and have each VA handle certain part of the business or certain department of the business.
Yes.
But it becomes a little bit overwhelming for me because I have to train each and every one. Then right now I do have one VA. She's doing really well. And then I want to give her more and more tasks and more procedures to do. Then I feel like I'm overwhelming her. So I have this back and forth type of feeling. And I need to have a more clear direction how I should go about hiring. Should I just focus on this one VA and make her into a general operation manager because she has that potential, or should I go out and hire? Should I just have her focus on cold calling because she's a really good ISA, and she's also could potentially become a manager for the ISA department.
Right.
But then I have so many other things, in my business that I need her help with. Like I have property management, I have Airbnb, I have, obviously generating leads. I have properties to sell. I'm trying to liquidate some of my properties so I can free up some cash. And I'm kind of stuck with that because this Corona thing is making buyers back out, investors kind of make an offer and then now I don't hear from them. So I'm trying to have her call some cash buyers. I'm a little bit all over the place because I have so many things going on. So, I need some direction in terms of, I guess, how I should go about hiring so I can have a more stabilized and more streamlined business.
Sure. And I'm gonna give you the approach that we've used and the approach that I've used with a boatload of my consulting clients that I've worked with. And that is this. You start off by identifying all the tasks and operations in your business that you want to replace yourself from doing. That's the first thing. You have to identify what you want to replace yourself from. Once you identify those tasks, you have to take a firm assessment of your skill set. Which of these tasks am I very good at? Which of these tasks am I okay at? And which of these tasks I don't know a damn thing about? And then once you do that, you have a list, Jason, of where you need and how to bring in people in your organization. Because the tasks that you are very good at are the tasks that you can replace the quickest. Because those are the tasks that can be easily automated by way of creating your SOP for that task. Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, none of this that I'm telling you is going to be quick or fast. It's not. But once you do it once, you won't have to do it anymore. That's the key to it. Everything has to be done first, where you got to do the grunt work. You got to do the time-consuming thing first. But once you understand how to catalog it and break it down into an SOP, you shouldn't have to do it at all ever again. So that's how I created my SOP for all of my team members, all my virtual assistants, and so on. I started off with all the stuff, what I know how to do real well. And I created a training portal out of that, a PDF, a YouTube video, a Jing video. I created all of that by way of a document I would put into Google. And you could easily use free tools to do this. Put it inside of Google Drive. And then I make that accessible to my VA as a training document, as a training video. And now I have that same document, that same video that I use for each person who's putting into that place.
Okay.
That's how we created our standard operating procedure. We first looked at our business and said, here's all the things that has to be done in the business. Here's all the things that I know how to do well. Here's the things that are my next level, and here's the things that are the least things I know how to do. And I start off with placing the stuff that I know how to do well with a person to do those things, to run that aspect of what we're doing. Right now, you'd mentioned in regards to a young lady that is just basically crushing it with cold calling.
On the marketing, right?
So you said she is crushing it with cold calling.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Because I'm getting ready to head out. And
hold on. Let me turn off some of this mute stuff. I got a couple of people that I have to mute. I'm hearing a lot of noise in the background, so give me a second, Jason. Okay, Jason, like I was saying, the young lady that's in your business that is excelling through cold calling, absolutely. If it's time for your business to grow in that department, I would make that person the person who is going to be basically training my other people. I would definitely do that. And the reason why I would do that, because it's time to scale up based on volume, based on your actual close ratio, and based on what you're doing in the business. If it's that time to do that, that's who would be the person who would run that division, my cold calling, my telemarketing side of my business, is that person who's already exceeding. Now, what I would also tell you to do is, whatever she's exceeding at, have her make a breakdown of how she's doing it. That's what we did with our VAs. Individuals that we brought in the company who were experts at what they were doing, we had them create the actual step-by-step instruction of what they were doing as part of their daily task. They took an hour a day to break down exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it. And we created that as a manual for that position. So that's the approach I would take. And that's the approach we've taken. We've taken that approach to the point where we're doing it in 6 different markets. Have you gotten my SOP book yet?
Yes, I have.
So what you have there are all the breakdown that my VAs have created based on the task and stuff they're doing. And that's a fine example of what I'm talking about. So take that blueprint and use it for your business and say, here's what we're doing that Charles isn't doing. So let me break an outline out just like this that he has here underneath the same format, training video, so on, so on, so on. And then use that to replace me from what I'm doing in my business. Secondarily, the way we find the best people in our business when we market for VAs and outsourcers is that every strategy that we have them do, they have to do a test on that strategy first. They must do that strategy for us without payment first, so that we can see that they're able to do that strategy. Every person who we interview who comes past the second stage, because we have 3 stages of an interview. The first stage is the actual getting the actual information in from the VA, their resume, their cover letter, and so on. Then we actually dwindle that down to 3 to 5 candidates. And then after those 3 to 5 candidates we dwindle it down to, we have all do conference calls by way of Zoom. Live conference calls. And then we choose the best 1, 2, 3 punch out of that group. And that's our process for every part, every division in our company.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's something I still need to work on in terms of how to train these VAs and how to promote them. One of the issues, one of the things I tend to do is once I have a capable VA doing well at one thing, excel at one area, I will overwhelm them with so many other things, and then they're not good at those other things. Now,
right?
I'm back to square one, training them. And I do have like these SOP I created, but I got to organize them and just try to figure out how to create, how to hire the right people and to handle the specific departments.
You just hit it right on the nail, Jason, because you just mentioned something very important. You're bringing in the right people, but you're adding tasks to their jobs that wasn't part of their actual resume to begin with.
Yeah.
That's where the change has to happen. Ain't nothing wrong with adding tasks or hiring a person. The key is making sure that your scope of work that you want them to perform covers everything you need done. Now, will you find somebody that can do everything? No, I have yet to find somebody that can do everything. But I have been able to find somebody, for example, somebody that's good at cold calling. They're good at outbound cold calling. They're good at inbound cold calling. They're good at putting stuff in data input. They're good at data scraping. So that stuff like that general cold call person can do. But I can't expect that general cold call person to now go ahead and create a Facebook post for me, or to go ahead and create a graphic for me, because that's just not their mindset.
That's funny.
Exactly.
Because just today I told her to help me do some Facebook posting and Craigslist posting because I need.
Yeah, you can get them to do data mining, but when it comes to the creative side, you need somebody that's more experienced who've done the creative side.
Yeah.
Or, absence of that, if you're not hiring somebody that already knows how to do it, you need to have a detailed SOP that shows them how to do it. It's got to be one or the other.
Right. Good. I got to connect with you after this, Charles.
No problem, Jason. I'm here, man.
Awesome.
Great question, man. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Any other questions out there, guys? I love with the way you guys are interacting right now. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Trina, I'll get with you. Okay, thank you, Trina. Let's see. So are you Is yellow letter still effective? Apps. Let me tell you right now. The postcard that we do is a variation of the yellow letter. As a matter of fact, I think I have one around here. Let me show you guys the variation, the yellow letter that we do. Or should I say the yellow letter postcard? It's actually not yellow. I'm going to go into my Lob account. And then I'm going to share my screen with you. And like I said, all of this we're doing inside of our Podio as far as how we're sending out postcards and stuff. Everything is automated. Come on. I think Lob is, I'm putting in my username and password, so give me a minute, guys. Once I got everything in, I'll share the screen with you. In the meantime, go ahead and type those questions in. Okay, I'm ready to share my screen, and let me know, guys, in the comment section if you could see it. If you're seeing this in the comment section, I would love to know. Or somebody say, I can see it, raise your hand, all that good stuff.
I can see it.
Okay, thank you, Malik. Now, this is one of our 3 postcards that we're actually using. I'm going to see if I can make this bigger. That should have made it bigger. This is one of these. As you can see, it's off of the yellow letter format, except it's on a white postcard. I want to buy your house in Baltimore City. Call me now to discuss the details. You got a telephone number. God bless Charles. Let's talk about, and this is the actual front of the postcard, company information here. And then it has the actual address of their property that we're interested in. Let's talk about 1215 South 20th Street. That's one of our postcards that we're using. And the other one, let's see. This is another one. This is the one that we're using for rentals. Do you have a rental? Do you have bad tenant? Are you considering a costly eviction? Want to avoid costly repairs? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then please call me immediately. So we have 3 variations of postcards that we use, and you're doing it through our actual Podio system. So I stopped the sharing, so you may not be seeing my screen anymore. So that's where I'm going with this. Absolutely, you should be using a variation of the yellow letter, yellow postcard. One of our highest converting, and we still use this letter, is called My Wife and I letter. My wife and I would like to buy your house at, and then we put the address. Please give us a call if you're interested in selling. That still is one of the highest converting yellow letters that we've done. Jason asks, what percentage we should lower our offer ratio due to the current volatile market? That's a great question. And I don't know if I can give you an actual specific answer to that, because we're dealing with something that's extremely brand new. Normally, as far as our ratio goes, we use a 90-day formula in regards to the temperature of what we've done in the last 90 days. And this is barely 3 weeks old. So I don't think I can give you an answer to that question, Jason, in regards to what's your new ratio should be. Ask me that question in about 60 to 90 days. But I would tell you this, it's going to change. It's going to be less. I just don't know how less right now because it's just a matter of weeks as opposed to our 90-day forecast we do every 90 days to see where we're at with close ratios. Question is, Charles, do you still use DataZap? Sparingly, we do. We don't use DataZap as much as we have because we found other sources that's just as accurate as they are. I'll give you the source that we're using right now that's just as accurate, that's actually less than what they are. We're using the Mojo skip tracing feature inside of Mojo. So that's what we're using in place of DataZap right now. Mojo skip tracing inside of Mojo cells for our bulk skip tracing. Now, I always say there is an exception to the rule. If you don't have the budget to use Mojo, of course, then you can continue to use DataZap. But we're also looking at, because of some of my other people that I work with, they're looking at another process because of their budget. And I'm also reviewing that, which I will be giving you information on shortly when I have all the data in on another skip tracing service as well. Let's see. What else? Malik said he's already subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Don't forget to head on over to Charles Blair on YouTube. And is there any final questions? Because I don't want to leave not one person unanswered today. Is there any final questions you guys have? If I need to bring you in live, just say, hey, Charles, bring me in live so I can ask the question, or you can type it in the chat box. We've been doing this since 8 o'clock this morning, and I thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Is there any last questions? And also, if this has been some good information, let me know. I mean, I don't have a mind. I mean, my ego like to be stroked a little bit sometimes. So let me know if there's been some good information, all that good stuff. Okay, let's see. Question is, what was the answer to getting real buyers list? And thank you. Kip, that's a great question. You can get some great buyers lists by a number of sources that still work. One of which is just by going to auctions. Now, there's going to be less people. I think every industry is going to get hit. So I think the auction industry will also get hit. You can also use PropStream to get actual individuals that is interested or buyers. PropStream allows you to pull buyers lists, and then you can skip trace that buyers list. If you want, I'm going to leave my affiliate link to PropStream right now inside of the system. It's madpropertydeals.com. That's my affiliate link to PropStream. We use it. I love it. My mastermind students love it. My consulting clients love it. The companies that I work with regards to marketing, they love it. So definitely check that out. Great for buyers. If you're looking for a system that an easier way or cost-effective way, you can also look for buyers on, if you're in Maryland, called MD Land Records. You can do a search based on buyers that are purchase money with their IRA. Based by putting the IRA company inside of MD Land Records, and you can actually search through that.
We can jump to that.
So there's a number of opportunities for you to locate buyers out there. Of course, reach out to the different Facebook groups, reach out to the different Facebook marketplaces, another way to find buyers. Craigslist is another way to find buyers. I don't think the issue is going to be buyers. Even though we have what's going on in the marketplace with COVID-19, I don't think the issue is going to be buyers. Because right now, a lot of buyers are liquid. And they're looking for safe investments. So do you think that people will stop wanting to rent? Not. Do you think that people will stop wanting to move? Not. Do you think that people will stop wanting to generate income through real estate? Not. What I do think that things will slow up a little bit. I think that it will definitely slow up a little bit. But as I mentioned earlier on during this call, I've been in the business now for 30 years. I can't tell you how many issues we've been through. And you know what? I'm still here. Now, there's a lot of investors that have left. Why? Because here's the number one reason why I think we're still here and we're growing and we're investing in 6 different markets. Here's the number one reason why. Because we don't put all our fish in one basket. We don't just do wholesaling. Not that there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being an expert at wholesaling. There's nothing wrong with being or having a main business model of rehabbing or a main business buying model of renting. There's nothing wrong with that. If the growth of your business is fine at that level of only wholesaling, only rehabbing, only buy and hold, then there's nothing wrong with that at all. But what I will tell you is this. If you want more revenue, passivity, more income, more leads, more this, more that, you have to have multiple exit strategies. That doesn't mean you have to master multiple exit strategies. No, you do not have to master multiple exit strategies. You just need to know where to go to monetize that multiple exit strategy. In other words, well, if I got a deal that fits into the bucket of rent to own and I'm a wholesaler, where can I take that rent to own deal and make a profit? If I got a deal where the seller wants to list the property and not sell it to me, where can I take that property to a realtor where I can make money from renting it? If I from listing it with that realtor. If I got a deal that is best for short sale, where can I send that deal over to if I'm a wholesaler to make money from a short sale by sending that lead to somebody else? So you don't have to be an expert at all these strategies or doing all these strategies. Just be a transaction engineer and crush it. Gene asks, how do I do my consulting work? Gene, is simple. Just reach out to me by way of email and I'll send you information on how I work with companies to help grow their business and so on. Kip wants to know, do you have much experience with Subject 2? Are you kidding, Kip? I have a hell of a lot of experience with Subject 2 deals. Done a boatload of them over the years. So I know the ins and outs of them. As a matter of fact, we did one about 4 months ago. So yes, I have a lot of experience about Subject 2. Check out my YouTube channel. I keep on hopping this. I'm not trying to push my YouTube channel, but there's so much free information on my YouTube channel underneath of Charles Blair. That's my name, Charles Blair, on YouTube. And it includes Subject 2 deals that we've done. So definitely look at the YouTube channel. We talk a lot about Subject 2. Like I said, there will be no question unanswered. We are now 7 minutes out of the hour, and I'm stuck in the house because of COVID-19. No, I'm not, guys. I'm just kidding you. Right now, and I have my admin and my project manager and my lead manager handling most of the business. So I'm not stuck in the house because of COVID-19. I'm in the house because I choose to be, and I want to help you. So is there anything I can do to help you question-wise and so on? From Jason, this is a good time to hold off buying fix and flips? Is that a question? Is this a good time to hold off buying fix and flips? Great question. And I'm going to answer it two ways. I'm going to answer it what we're doing, and I'm going to answer what the other investors that I talk to who are heavy into flip and flips are doing. I mean, fix and flips are doing. No, we're not slowing up on finding any deals that we're going to fix, rehab, and flip. No. What we are doing is being a little bit more selective. In other words, instead of looking for the single or double, we're looking for the triple deals or the home run deals that we know, bam, we can move in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Because that's where I believe the main issue is going to be, 30, 60, 90 days. So we're looking for the deals that we know are triples and home runs and being a lot more picky. That's what we're doing. So should I say you should stop? No, heck no, you shouldn't stop. But you may be more selective in the type of deals that you say yes on. Any other questions? You know how I count off. Going once. I'm counting off, guys. Are there any questions? Going twice. One more time. Everybody, ladies, gentlemen, I am gone. Jason asks, what's going to happen to commercial real estate investing? I think that there's going to be a slowdown. I don't think it's going to be a situation where the recession is going to be a big issue regarding individuals wanting to buy. I think more individuals are going to want to hold properties. I think they're looking for that passivity, and that's where I think the market is going to go. I think there's going to be a lot. And when you say commercial, I'm talking about residential commercial, apartment buildings. I'm talking about multifamily and so on. That's above 4 or 5 units. So if you're talking about shopping centers, oh, there's going to definitely be a hurt there. If you're talking about strip malls, oh yeah, there's definitely going to be a hurt there. You're talking about storage facilities, not so sure. I think they're still going to be strong. Financing is fantastic. If you're talking about mobile home parks, I don't think there's going to be a shortage there because we're still looking at housing. I think that all the sectors outside of housing may really have a spike downward in the next 90 days, especially on the commercial side. Which means you only want to go after the cream of the crop, the best deals. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you spending time with me today. If you want me to do another one of these sessions in the evening this week, one in the evening, because I know you guys are all here. So I guess I shouldn't be asking you this. I should be asking people who are not here by sending an email or a Facebook post out or something. But if you want me to have one of these in the evening, I will, because I know some of you guys have better hours in the evening to come to these type of webinars and so on. But thank you for tuning in. I will get all your email addresses in the chats and make sure that you guys will get the information. As a matter of fact, let's make sure I can send myself what's in here. And while I'm reviewing the questions, guys, you can ask some more. Kipper, thank you for your email address. I have it. Select all. I've selected all, you guys. I've copied, and now I'm putting it in my notepad. If there's anything you guys want me to show you on my computer, you have an opportunity now to ask. Podio setup, all that good stuff. There we go. Yep, I've copied all the stuff. Okay, administrator says you're Podio. Okay, I will show you the Podio real quick. Okay, I will share the screen with you. Let me know if you're able to see it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is what it looks like on the inside, leads and stuff that comes in. And here's a breakdown of what the leads look like that comes into the system. We have a total of 932 leads. A lead for us, I'm gonna be very specific. A lead for us is a property where the person says, yes, they want to sell. That is a lead for us. And we have all these other features and so on. So if the person says, no, they don't want to sell, they don't have a house to sell, that's not a lead. A lead is somebody that says, yes, they want to sell. And we also get leads in from Craigslist, Zillow, and other sources all coming into our Podio system. And this is what it looks like. We have a total of 12 different apps, cash buyers, follow-up, lead fields, under contract, offers, properties, and so on. These are the different canned messages we use. We can put our templates in here for messages, marketing stuff, my tenant placement company, for sale by owners, Craigslist, for sale by renters, Craigslist, Zillow, and so on. So those are all the different things that we have inside of our Podio. These are my admin people, my lead manager, and so on that works in our company, that puts in all the details in the Podio and also initiates certain strategies that we're executing. So this is what the Podio looks like. And this is Chucky by Lucky Houses, and so on. I hope this helps. I'm going to stop showing now. Administrator, I hope that helped you, my friend. Okay, and as I mentioned, if you want the recording for this actual, I guess you would call it COVID-19 webinar, yada, 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 yada. Please, 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 please just leave a comment on my YouTube channel on the first video that's there, and I will give you a copy of this video as well. With that being said, this is Charles Blair, the Mad Scientist, signing out. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys for tuning in right now, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.